Good afternoon guys and welcome back to the channel. Chris Dennis here, putting specialist and short game performance coach. Today I want to talk through a question that get asked a lot. How do I get more spin? How do I control the spin on my ball? What do I need to do and how can I be consistent with that? So all you need to do is grab a ball. I've got one here that I use for putting that's half and half. So if you've got a black Sharpie, I've just got a couple of Pro V1s here and I've just coloured in half of the ball, so half of it is black. But what I want to do now is be able to hit some chip shots. So do your normal setup, come down here, pick a standard shot. So this is around about a 20-yard shot. We're going to set up as normal and we're going to line this up as if we was lining up a putt. So I'm going to line this ball up. I've lined that ball up now towards my target where I'm trying to hit. And I'm going to hit this ball and I'm going to start to look at if I'm getting any cut spin, if I'm getting any hook spin, or if that ball has just got pure backspin on. Again, we'll start to see a pattern if we're cutting across the ball. So if I go here in a very common stance, I see nice and open, and I'm trying to cut across that ball, we'll see that that ball will start to spin sideways, so it'll have more side spin than it will backspin. Not a bad shot, but again, when people want to know about the spin, we have to understand why that's happening, why that ball's spinning across. So if I bring in another one now, so I've set up exactly the same there now, and what I'm going to do is think about, okay, if I'm a little bit taller, I've made sure my alignment is parallel to my target, so I'm not open, which would encourage me to hit across to the left, which would put cut spin on, just like if you were hitting a driver. Also, another common posture I see, obviously is very rounded, and we swing around here, and it goes out to the right, and we put a lot of hook spin on. Obviously, if we put hook spin on, we're going to get no backspin either. We're going to encourage a little bit of top spin, so then it makes it very hard. So alignment nice and parallel to my target, weights left, and then again from here we're working that club out in front of us, not around and not out and across. So let's have a go now. Good, so I can see that ball going end over end. A lot of backspin on there. It flew straight towards my target, given it was a little bit strong, but I'm just focusing on what that flight's doing. I'm not too worried about hitting to a flag. That's just a line that I'm trying to start the ball on. So again, with my final one, we can also put it where the black half's on the top or the white half's on the top, and again here we should start to see that ball just oscillating back to front. Good, so I can see that ball straight away putting backspin on there. So you can do that with all your different clubs. So even on your chip and run, so if you use an A-time for chip and run, or even your hybrid, we can start to see how that ball is spinning off the face. If we're starting to see a lot of cut spin, we know that we're coming across that ball, or if we see hook spin, we know we're going the opposite way. So if we have hook spin or cut spin, it's very hard to judge where we're landing that ball because we don't know if it's going to spin off to the left, spin off to the right. So this is something that you can use in the bunkers as well. Obviously what I see a lot in the bunkers, I know we haven't gone through those yet, but we will do shortly, is I see a lot of people open stance, club out to the right, hitting way across that ball. When that ball hits the green, even if you hit it great, it spins off to the right. We want to do the same in the bunker, is try and get some neutral spin, try and get that ball just with backspin so we can control when it lands what it's going to do. So what we're going to do now is, obviously if you're out here and you do some chip shots and you see the ball spinning, okay, what we want to do is give you a little drill, something that you can pop down to make sure you're entering the ground pretty square, it's very neutral path, and we're getting that ball just with backspin, we're not getting any cut spin or hook spin. So let's have a look at that now. Okay guys, so I've used the spare wedges that I have with me. Obviously I'm using my 54 around the edge of the green, so I've used my 50 and my 58 to create a gate. So very much like putting, we've got something either side of the club face and we want to make it as tight as possible. So if we start to hit those clubs, we're getting feedback. For you guys, amateurs, give yourself a little bit of room, start to see your pattern, and then you can bring them in slowly. I don't want you scuffing and dinting your wedges or irons and blaming me. So bring them in, set yourself a gate, give yourself your own little parameters of how tight it is. And I've also got my pitching wedge in here for a reference to make sure my ball position's correct every time. Just like before, I'm going to come in here, line my ball up to where I'm trying to get that, so just left of the flag, and then when I come in here I can make sure the ball position is correct just in front of centre, and then also I can start to see now when I take that club away, if I work inside I'm going to get feedback. If I start to pick the club up I'll also get feedback. So we can constantly there check how we are moving that golf club and why we might be getting some cut spin on there. So I'm going to come in here now, my weight's left, stance is parallel, and we're going to make a motion here without catching these two clubs. Good, so club's finished out in front of me, a nice spin on the ball, it was pure backspin, and that's gone to around about 3 feet. So again, I would come in here every time. I'm not going to hit many of these, you know, I might set up 5 for some reason if I'm trying to get a bit of confidence before we go out on the golf course. I'm going to come in here and hit some shots, but we don't want to do too many. I don't want to see somebody come down here and spend an hour just doing this, because it's not realistic, it's not what we do on the golf course. If we hit 5 shots on here, then start to do some random shots, if we start to see, oh, it slips a little bit, we can always come back here, but never do more than 5 to 10 reps on here, because again, we want it to be more like a golf course situation, more like real play, as opposed to just feeling like robotic. When we get on the golf course, that's going to help you that you can go through your motions. You're picturing this, but you've done your shots around the green, so you've got plenty of confidence. So in again, check my ball position, weights left, and let's hit another one now here. So club's nice and tall. Good. Again, came out nice and direct. You can see there, because I'm turning through and trying not to hit this, my ball flight's actually come a little bit down because I'm working my body a little bit better. That's going to give us more spin because again we've got a little bit less loft on there. That's going to grip, and I now can send those chips in nice and positive. So over there I've got around about a 3-footer, and I'll probably say 4.5 feet, which is not bad. To say we're 20 yards away, that's going to be inside tour average, but that's a little productive test. But I'm not too worried about the flag. I'm more bothered about, am I getting the right contact? Did I touch these clubs? And is that ball coming out with pure backspin, or is there still some side spin on there? If there's some side spin, you'll start to see which one you're hitting. You can check your stance then and start to adjust. So if I was hitting the left one, what I see a lot is even when people put clubs down, the stance still remains open. So make sure your toes are the same distance away from the club. That means we're parallel. From there then, it should be easier for us to get that club working through the gate as opposed to across the gate. So guys, hopefully that's something that can help you out. Obviously we've seen it in putting, how you can start to see if you're cutting across the ball, hopefully improve your roll, hopefully hold more putts. The same we can do here on chipping, so we can start to see if we're getting backspin, we can see if we're getting cut spin, because that can affect where our landing zone needs to be. If I'm cutting across the ball, we might need our landing zone to be a bit further left. If I'm hooking the ball, we'll know that it might come out with a little bit of top spin, so I've got to land it shorter. If we can get that neutral spin and just backspin, we can take dead aim at our target, dead aim at our landing zone, and we can be a lot more confident, we can hit it closer and hopefully hole a few more putts. So guys, hopefully that helps you there. Thanks for watching again today. I will see you on Wednesday, where we're going to be doing some pace putting. We're going to be up on the putting green and giving you a drill, that's something that you can do on the putting green to help you improve. Again, that doesn't take much time, but can really help you have less putts. Thanks again guys, see you then.